Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the live show with Musart. As last week's promo, as you saw, I have a very special guest. Her name is Farrah Azam, who is the director of Bespoke Henna. Now, we are all used to having henna on our hands and on our weddings or on occasions, but this lady has gone actually 10 steps far. She has put henna on diaries, she has put henna on candles, she has put henna on calendars, you name it. Her creativity has spiraled. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Farrah Azam. Assalamu alaikum, Farrah Azam.
Welcome, Salam.
Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's been an honor to have you here. I have been stalking you.
Oh, bless you.
So that's okay.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I've been stalking your work on Instagram and I am awed. Mashallah, the creativity has just gone wild. I have, there's diaries, there's candles. Where did you get this inspiration from?
Well, I actually studied psychology at university and I never really had a creative background, but I've always had a creative streak, like I've always enjoyed art.
Yeah.
And I became a mum at about 22, 23 and I was just a stay-at-home mum and I wanted to do something. I wanted like a fun hobby and I wanted it to be something creative. So I did a henna course. Mm-hmm. So I just started doodling henna designs on a piece of paper once and I just thought it looked really nice when it was still on the surface. So I just researched different ways of preserving it and, you know, and then I just started creating canvases to start off with. And then I just started working on other products, candles and painting on instruments, and it just sort of all went from there. And I think I just wanted to do something really different with henna because I loved the design element of henna.
Yeah.
But I never really liked having it applied on my skin.
So you've never had really henna done?
I have, but I just don't. I like it when it's first applied because it has that
dark colour.
Yeah, and not just that, it's like 3D and it's like slightly raised. But obviously when you wash it off, then it becomes flat. Yeah. And that's like in my work, I like to use mediums that dry the same. I like 3D mediums. I use 3D paints and I use henna and preserve it while it's sort of still quite hard. So yeah, that's basically where
so
it all came from.
what like, so when you started your company, when did you start your Bespoke Henna?
I started it 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was when my eldest child was first born.
Wow.
7
So you just bored while you're on maternity leave and thought, yeah, do you know what? I want to get my passion out there and put it down to paper. So where did the idea come? Actually, you know what? I can, rather than putting henna on just hands, I want to put it on a book. I want to put it on candles. Where did that come from? Because you know, there's lots of henna artists out there who are doing on candles. I think candle has become a very big business now. Lots of women are doing it. You can get very personalised candles now. I think when there's ceremonies going on, wedding ceremonies going on, they're all like personalised and it becomes like a memory. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, well, I started off with canvases, but I think that the more competition that you have and the more people that sort of start doing things, it kind of makes me, it kind of motivates me to push myself to the next level. So I think some people, they see competition as a bad thing. I actually seen it as a very positive thing.
Oh, that's great.
It helps me to think out of the box, and I always think, okay, well, everyone else is doing this now. What can I do now that's going to be different? So I started off with canvases. A lot of people were doing canvases. Then I started moving on to candles, and then I just started doing it on various different products. I just kept trying to stay ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, that's great. So the canvases are like decoration pieces as well that you can put in the house. So people wants to say somebody wants something personalized, so they'll just contact you and say, I want this.
Yeah, so all my work is bespoke. So people will pick a design from my portfolio on my website, and then they might want certain verses from the Quran on it, and they might want it personalized with people's names and dates, and sometimes they'll send me a picture of like the theme of the wedding, and then I'll match the canvas accordingly. So
there's one that I saw that you did with Princess Jasmine. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm a big Disney fan, and everybody knows I'm a humongous Aladdin fan, and ever since I was little, I thought I was Princess Jasmine.
Okay.
So I went to watch the Aladdin theatre production in the West End, and I really felt like creating something. I just felt really inspired after that, so I created, like a henna-inspired Princess Jasmine piece. Wow. And actually the Aladdin cast members from the West End, the main lady that plays Princess Jasmine, she actually tweeted it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was quite cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I've seen your work, and also you always have calendars as well, and colouring books.
The colouring books and the calendars, they're actually my designs. They're illustrations I've done that have been printed and sort of mass produced. So they're not hand painted, of course, because
but you used to do one and they photocopied.
But yeah, they're all my original illustrations, prints, like high quality prints of my original illustrations.
Oh, that's great. So there's lots of adult colouring books now as well, aren't they? So I think there's lots of that theme going on as well.
Yeah, it's a huge
so you probably
craze.
Do you get lots of adults who are buying off you?
Yeah, I mean, the majority of my customers for my colouring books are adults, because my designs are quite detailed. So they're not, I mean, even though they do appeal to children as well, I think it's more targeted at adults because the designs are quite intricate, so they'd be quite a little bit harder to colour in. Having said that, my son loves colouring them in, and he's 7, and I've donated some to his school, and they do it as a part of their activities in their classrooms as well. Yeah.
So also you have a training academy.
Yeah, I do. I train people because there's so many training academies out there for henna body art, but there wasn't anything for just working on products and with different mediums, because obviously I don't just work with henna. So a lot of people used to approach me and ask me if I was willing to teach. And at the time I didn't think I was good enough, but I think in 2015 I set up the training academy, and yeah, it's been really popular. I have a lot of students, and I've started doing like group workshops now as well, which is, I love teaching.
That's great. So are these people who are complete amateurs who don't know how or thing about art, or do they have a bit of art in them already?
I have it's different. Some people are they're quite experienced and they just want to take it to the next level. Some people are complete beginners. My training academy is for all different levels because it's a one-to-one course, so I can really tailor make it and sort of suit their needs and focus on certain parts that they struggle with more. So yeah, I can really work around them because it's one-to-one.
So do you teach mainly that they can have use of pen, or is it with the henna cone? Or
I teach them with all sorts of mediums, but mainly we work with henna and acrylic paints.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about like sketches and stuff? So do you do pencils first, or like a normal art class, or?
Yeah, so I teach them about finding inspiration, and obviously we do some sketches before applying it with the acrylic and the henna, just to get them into the habit of finding inspiration, but not copying, because I think a lot of people, when they think of inspiration, they think, okay, just copy something and then just change certain things around like colour. But I really want them to sort of create their own designs and have their signature style, because I think that's what made my work stand out, was the fact that I had my own style.
Yeah. Did you ever do art when you were in school or college?
Just like up until year 9 or something, like the very
basics. Was that your favourite subject?
I think it was actually, yeah. I think it was. And
what did you enjoy most when you were at school at art? Was it mostly like detailed paintings, or was it like, like obviously that, because you said you've had henna inside, like henna paintings. You loved henna painting as you were growing up.
I loved the design element of it, yeah. I loved those doodles, the botanical floral designs. I love paisley motifs, yeah, so I loved all of that. In art class, I think I liked everything. I just thought art was one of those relaxing subjects where you could just be free and do what you wanted to do.
Coming to relaxing, I remember watching your show yesterday on Muslim
Women's AM.
On the Islam channel. You mentioned something about the artwork being therapeutic. Would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I started painting at a time that I was feeling quite stressed, and I think it helped me personally. I felt that it was a form of therapy for me. I felt like it was a stress relief because I was very much focused on my work at that time, so I wasn't thinking about anything negative at the time. But also the whole colouring book craze, it's been linked to sort of lowering depression and helping with self-esteem and anxiety.
Wow.
And it even has intellectual benefits. It can help with concentration and focus.
Wow.
So yeah, and I've had a lot of customers that have purchased my book, coming forward and telling me that it's really helped them with their, illnesses, like depression and anxiety, and
That's
just
wonderful.
helping them relax.
Yeah, I think the way it works is probably quite good, because because as I work as a life coach, and I think it's about taking the focus away. So I think, like you said, so it's probably just taking you away from the reality of everything. So you just get down and you put your head to something. Yeah. It's a relaxing experience, isn't it?
You're trying to, figure out what colours to use. So you're thinking about colour choices and all of this stuff. You're using your fine motor skills as well.
Yeah, so it's like you're taking your mind away as well. Like it's a bit of escapism, really.
Yeah, definitely, it is, definitely.
So like, is any of your designs like inspired by, obviously, I get the feeling you quite a lot of, You love Eastern stuff.
Well, my designs are, I think that what I wanted to do was I wanted my designs to be quite contemporary. I wanted to do something quite different and quite unconventional with henna. So what I do is my main inspiration does, of course, come from henna, but I combine it with various other art forms. You know, one of my favourite artists who I always speak about is William Morris. He was a wallpaper designer, and you know, he was a British artist, but his work has a lot of like floral and botanical motifs in it, and I like to take a lot of inspiration from that, especially for my colouring book and my calendars I did, and his use of colours. So I combine that with my henna designs. I like a lot of Iznik art, which is a Turkish, it's Turkish art. I first came across it when I was in Istanbul. I'm inspired by all sorts of stuff which are completely random and unassociated.
So you just mix them up?
I mix everything
yeah.
up, and I think that's what makes my work look a bit different. And
yeah.
I think I'm British, but I'm also Pakistani, so I like my work to reflect me.
As a cultural.
Because I'm very British, but I'm also Pakistani, and my work is East meets West.
That's great, and I do see that through your work. And also, it's like your work is quite awe-inspiring, and when I'm looking at it, it's just amazing. And talking of that, we've got a small slideshow of some of your work, which shows the instruments that Farrah has done her henna work on, some cards, and actually now Superman t-shirts. Actually, Batman.
And Batman.
Yeah, I've got a small video for you.
You've got the Batman one.
You enjoyed that slideshow. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that slideshow. And as you know, I'm sure you saw the guitar, you saw a few of her select. That's just a few of the stuff that Farrah does. If you really want to know what she does, go onto Instagram on Bespoke Henna and you see a variety of her designs. On that slideshow, we had a t-shirt of Batman.
Yeah.
So could men wear that?
I have got orders from men for that.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Because it looks very feminine. Not feminine, I would say, but it's, you know what I mean. Because it's got a feminine design to a masculine.
It does, but then it's also masculine because of the whole Batman thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I have had orders from men, and yeah, the reason I did the the reason I did the Superman and the Batman t-shirts because I wanted my work to appeal to men as well.
Yeah, that's great.
And
it's like the competition element, like you said, you want to go a bit further.
Exactly.
So you want to go reach a wider audience.
Exactly, and also, so these superhero t-shirts, they're all hand painted with 3D fabric paints, and they can be washed and everything. So yeah, that's like my new thing.
So what paints do you use? So they're washable?
They're 3D, yeah, they are washable. I've also done Free Palestine t-shirts, which were also, they were not hand painted, they were printed, but it was like a Palestine flag, and then it had like henna designs in it, and like most of my customers for that were men. And you know, when the Palestine protests were going on in central London, I saw so many people wearing my t-shirt, which was a lot of men, which was a really nice feeling.
Yeah, that's great. So also you've got the instrumental stuff that you've done.
Yeah.
So the guitar.
Yeah. So
is that your guitar?
Yeah, well, it's my brother. It's my brother's guitar. Like
right.
I'm from quite a musical family. Like all the men in my family play classical guitar.
Wow.
So there was always guitars lying around in the house.
So you just let me just draw on them.
Yeah, but my brother did get a little bit annoyed when I painted on one of his guitars because I didn't ask his permission.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the instrument thing was again something like thinking out of the box. But also I was approached by a musician. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't my idea.
Wow.
I was approached by a musician 5 years ago at an event that I went to. It was an Algerian band. band, and they wanted me to paint on their drums and guitars. So that got a lot of
attention.
Yeah, it did, because it was something quite different.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. And I think, as you see in the videos, if you saw, you've collaborated with Armani.
Yeah, I have.
Wow. How did you collaborate with them?
So they contacted me.
Wow.
And they wanted me to design some of their luxury perfumes. So I've done 3 collaborations with Armani. 2 of them were for Harrods and 1 of them was for Selfridges. And yeah, I just hand painted on their perfume bottles for they were like limited edition pieces. And one of the collaborations that I did with Selfridges, I had to design on wooden boxes, and that was
I saw about
in collaboration with Armani and Swarovski. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
So the paint that you use on the boxes and the perfumes, like, is it like obviously permanent and like?
Yeah, it's acrylic paint, and then.
So if you make a mistake, how would you?
Well, I can wipe it off while it's wet. It would just become a problem once it's dried and sealed. But I'd know if I've made a mistake straight away, so I just wipe it off and start again.
So that's a bit of a challenge when you're working with big collaborations as well.
It can be frustrating because the first time that I collaborated with Armani, I'd just given birth to my second child.
Wow.
And yeah, so I literally just came out of hospital, and the next day I'd started painting on the bottles. Yeah, and I was like supposed to have rest for 6 weeks.
So you just thought, okay, let me just paint on some bottles.
Because I wasn't going to say no to the opportunity with Armani.
Yeah, exactly. And also the times, you probably had to give it into a time, you had a deadline to probably.
I had a deadline, exactly. So you have to do what you have to do.
Wow. So is there any challenges that you face while building up your business? Because I feel that you're quite blessed.
There have been many challenges, obviously having children and running a business, because people just think it's the design and the paintings element of it, but there's so much to it. I have to run social media, I have to reply to emails, you know, there's so much that's involved. I have to go out and buy stocks, I have to go and send out my parcels. There's so much involved in running a business like this, and I don't think I would have been able to do it successfully if it wasn't for the help and support from my friends and family, because obviously I need help with childcare sometimes, and my mum's very good at helping with the kids, and my family live nearby. Yeah, so that's been my main challenge.
What business challenges have you had? Like, have you had, like, where things haven't worked out and it's been frustrating, you know, I remember as we were having our conversation, you mentioned saying that as starting up a business, like you didn't know how to start up a business and you just jumped in.
I didn't know anything. I didn't have any art education in art or any kind of training in art or business. So I had to learn everything myself. And along the way, of course, I made so many mistakes. But I think that I'm glad that I did it that way because I learned so much. I think that I learned more in the last 6 years running my business than I have in all my years of education.
Wow.
Just so many skills I've picked up. But yeah, it was definitely challenging along the way, and I did make lots of mistakes. But you just mention
one of the mistakes? So we can learn from.
I can't think off the top of my head, but of course I've made mistakes. Like certain events that I did, I might have not looked for the right things. You know, like now if I'm going to exhibit my work at an event, I'll make sure that this event has. You know, I'll find out how I'll do my homework. I'll find out how is it being advertised. Will I have exclusivity? How many years has this event been running for? I would try to do, you know, some research on it. Whereas before, if someone approached me and they just sort of sold their event to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, this sounds good, and I'd just go ahead and do it. So I think stuff like that, then you learn as you go along. But yeah.
Any other challenges that you had, like when you've been like people that you met on your journey or and stuff like that? You know, because I think sometimes when you go in the business world, it can be quite horrid. You can meet good people and you can meet the opposite, like who would not be willing to help out, or you might even get some haters along the way, which is a given.
Well, in comparison to other businesses that I've spoken to, alhamdulillah, I've been very, very blessed. People have been very kind to me, and people have always been so sweet and so helpful. I have obviously come across people that have been quite competitive and who have tried to undermine me or copy my work.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think I used to let it affect me. That was one of my business mistakes. I used to let it affect me.
So you've got thicker skin now?
Now, I just feel like if I'm going to spend so much time focusing on that, I'm going to fall behind. So I allow that now to motivate me to just keep moving to the next level, just keep moving forward, and then, you know, you'll always be ahead of the game. So, yeah.
So, I also saw that you do cards and stuff like that, and greeting cards, and you do like wedding cards as well.
Yeah, I do hand-painted wedding cards.
So if you've got big orders, you have to do them all individually, or do you get them? You send them
I
off?
do them all individually because I think that's what makes it unique, is that each piece is sort of
different,
hand-painted, and not every piece won't be exactly the same. There'll be slight differences.
So isn't there a way that you can make this easier? Like maybe get a team or something that would do the rest of the cards rather than you doing each one?
I think.
Or do you just enjoy doing it yourself?
It's not that. I think most people, they'd want to buy from me. They'd want it to be my work, because I don't think it'd be the same thing if it was somebody else doing it. I think if people like my work, they're going to want to purchase my work, not somebody else's. So I don't think that I would. I think I would always do my own work.
So you wouldn't like hire a team to like take over?
No, I don't think I would. I think I'd like to do it all myself. I'd rather have less business and do it all myself.
Really?
Yeah.
What? So is that because you're fussy, or do you think you just want to you want to keep the customer happy yourself?
I think it's both. And my business is Bespoke Henna by Farrah Azam. I think it's a very personal thing.
I agree.
I would just want to do it myself. I'd want to create. I wouldn't trust anybody else to put the passion and love into it like I do, because it's my business. And
okay, and so we're going to go for a quick break now, and then we'll come back and have some questions with Farrah Azam. Thank you for watching.
What are you doing here?
ইমনটা দেখতে পাইছি
It's best you just stay away from us.
ইমনটা একবারটা দেখতে দাও একবার
Breakdown of marriage affects parents and children. Barrister Malik and his expert team of lawyers can act to elevate pain and stress. Westminster Law Chambers.
Sale, sale, sale. Massive sale is going on from 10th of November to 31st of December. Salma Designer Abaya House is giving up to 50% off on all designer abayas, designer kaftans, waistcoats, ajwa dates, black seed oil, Islamic books and many more items. Visit our store to get this end of the year special sale. Salma Designer Abaya House, 118 Whitechapel Road, London E1 1JE. Telephone 0207 018 2375.
Welcome to Agora Grill and Steakhouse. Agora Mixed Grill Special. Great menu for fish lover, tasty steaks dinner, 10 gourmet burger choices, and many more.
Great service.
I will come again and again.
HMC approved, 100% halal.
Agora, ready to serve you.
Agora, sign of happiness.
স্বাস্থ্যসম্মত উপায়ে প্রস্তুত প্রিমিয়াম কোয়ালিটি পরোটা শাহানা পরোটা, আপনার নিত্যদিনের পছন্দের খাবার। শাহানা পরোটা এখন ব্রিটেন ও ইউরোপ জুড়ে সর্বত্র পাওয়া যাচ্ছে। সাসকো ফুডস ইউকে লিমিটেড 0208 591 6043।
তোর মা আমারে নিবার লাগে আইছে বলে তোর মা আমি আইয়া আজকে দেখি ইগোর আমার ইগোর অধিকার আমার বেশি আমি হকর বড় তোমরা আমারে শান্তি মতো মরবার দিতায় না বুঝছি। ব্যারিস্টার মালিক সাহেবরে খবর দাও, উইল বানাইতাম।
দেখলা তো উইলটা বানাইলে কি অবস্থা হয়, আজকেই উইল বানাও, টাইম ওয়েস্ট করবা না।
সোনার দেশের সোনার মাটি লিশরুই কাতলে রে, অন্তর টানে সেই মাটির ঘ্রাণে, নদীর তাজা মাছেতে অন্তর টানে সেই মাটির ঘ্রাণে।
অন্তরেরই টানে প্রবাসীদের প্রতিটি প্রাণে মিশে আছে সাসকো ফুডস।
Feel like having a grill or a steak? Well, a new grill and steakhouse just opened. Agora Grill and Steakhouse. Come with your family and friends and be first to try our grills and steaks. Agora Grill and Steakhouse, 119 New Road, London E1.
Sale, sale, sale. Massive sale is going on from 10th of November to 31st of December. Salma, designer abaya house, is giving up to 50% off on all designer abayas, designer kaftans, waistcoats, ajwa dates, black seed oil, Islamic books and many more items. Visit our store to get this end of the year special sale. Salma, designer abaya house, 118 Whitechapel Road, London E1 1JE. Telephone 0207 018 2375.
Hello there. Legal Taxi's mobile app is an amazing cloud-based taxi booking solution. The taxi drivers and passengers can access this application anytime and anywhere. Are you waiting on the road or trying to call up a taxi? Well, don't waste your precious time anymore. And now, you can book your taxi at ease. Do you want to know how? It's so simple. Download the Legal Taxis app from the App Store in your smartphone. Register your details with your mobile number or log in directly with your Facebook account. Enter the location manually or drag the balloon where you want the pickup and drop to happen. Legal Taxis application fetches your location automatically and shows the taxis nearby. On a single click, your request is sent to the nearest driver. The taxi driver will receive your request and accept it instantly. In return, you will receive a notification and you could check the current location of the taxi with the estimated time to reach your pickup location. While your taxi arrives, hop in and enjoy your ride. At the end of your journey, you will receive the receipt of taxi fare in your mobile app. You can either pay as cash or through online. This app also allows you to feedback about the ride, rate the trip and share your experience through social media. Legal Taxis app not only allows you to book regular taxis but also black cabs, mini cabs and hackney carriages. What are you waiting for? Book your taxi today for a great voyage at Legal Taxis.
Welcome back. So Farrah, actually I've got a question to ask you. As you said, you've got a teaching academy. What kind of teacher are you? Are you aggressive? Do you give them detention, or do you tell them to go to naughty corner?
No, my students are all they're all very mature, and no, I'm really calm, and I get on really well with them. I'm friends with most of them.
Oh, that's nice.
And we keep in touch. And recently we had a day out. We went to the museum together to go and look for inspiration together. We've got like our own little WhatsApp group. I'm really close to my students. I build a really close friendship with them.
Wow, and you stay really mature and collective with them.
100%. I am mature. What are you trying to say?
You know, we had a great laugh before the show. We had a lovely time. We're not going to bring it up now because we're going to start crying with laughter, trust me.
We already have cried about 3 times.
Yes, we have, with hilariousness. No, but so if you have a student that's, do you give out homework and stuff?
No, because it's only 2 days intensive. And we cover everything we have to cover in the hours that we're together, and then they go home and then they just practice. A lot of the time, you know, they send me their work through WhatsApp, and, you know, I'm still always helping them, even once our class is over. My relationship doesn't end with them.
Oh, that's lovely.
I'm always helping them.
So do you have actually students who come and they will say they want to learn to do henna on weddings and stuff? Have you had kinds of people who don't know anything about it? Because to be honest, I like henna, doing henna as well. It won't always turn out right. It doesn't always turn out really good. Yeah. And I always blame the cone. I think sometimes the cone is very smooth, and
it is very important to have a good cone. I think a lot of people, they just buy henna from shops and stuff. You need to buy natural henna that's been made at home.
Made at home?
Well, that's been made by a person. Yeah.
So you would highly recommend using the powder one rather than the ready-made?
No, the ready-made ones are good, but you want natural henna, and a lot of the henna that we buy from shops on the shelf, they've got like petroleum and stuff in it. They're not. Yeah, they've got chemicals in it. They're not. That's why the stain lasts, because henna the stain isn't supposed to last if it's out of the fridge.
Really?
Yeah. So if the stain is lasting and it's on a shelf and not refrigerated, you know that that's got some sort of chemicals in it, and that's not good for your skin. It goes through. Yeah,
because they also say that it takes whatever you put in your skin, it takes 30 seconds for it to absorb into your body.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you do? So you recommend to make the powder yourself and then you put it in a cone yourself?
No, well, you can have it brought from somebody who's made it themselves using just the powder and, you know, some natural oils, because, you know, that's what people usually mix in henna to give it a good stain. But that's kind of irrelevant to what I do, because mine isn't going to stain because it's not for the body, it's for the product. So
yeah. So do you have, like I said, do you have lots of students who want to come and learn to do you want to learn henna to do for weddings, and they want to become henna wedding artists?
No, they usually just want to paint on products.
Really?
What I'd
so they want to do
they
candles and stuff.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
want to do what I do, and I've had so many students. I've had so many students come from abroad as well to learn from me.
Really?
I've got one coming from America soon. I had one recently come from the Caribbean.
Wow.
Someone from Denmark.
How do you get that reach? Is it through your social media mainly?
Social media, because I've got like over 53,000 people following me across my social media platforms, and yeah, I think that's how my work has reached a lot of people.
And so they just get in contact, we want to come and book a...
Yeah, exactly. And as I've built up my reputation, I think people trust me enough to travel to me, I guess. But I feel very humbled by that.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That must feel... So that you must know so many people then, like all around the world. And and the recognition must make you feel, wow, I'm
really humbled by it. I'm
really creative.
I'm really appreciative of it.
So what would you say is your secret of attracting so much business and good aura around you? What do you think that is?
I think it's two things. I think one of it is being honest. I think honesty in business is the most important thing. And I think second is hard work, just really hard work. I mean, there's been times that I've stayed awake all night working. I mean, I told you about, I'd just come out of, I had a major operation. I just had my baby and I was painting the Armani bottles the next day, because if I didn't do that, I would have lost the opportunity.
So you just jump at the opportunity. You don't waste time.
Yeah,
you say, the second thing would you say is abrupt action mainly, to say
just
acting
do it, even if it means you're not going to sleep. I would put my head down and do it. But yeah, I think honesty is really important. I think it's so important to be honest and to be genuine, and I think that's really helped me.
And also, I think you're quite a grateful person. I think that probably adds to it as well. You're very grateful for the life that you have, and I've noticed that around in your aura, that you're always appreciating the little things.
I appreciate people a lot. I appreciate people that have helped me on my journey. And that's why I always try to help other people.
Because you know, like at such a young age and looking after a very creative business, it's not easy. It looks easy on the outside.
No, it's not easy at all. I mean,
keeping that maintenance. And also, I feel once you get a bit of a sense of fame, I know you just don't like to say you're famous, but I'd say you are. But once you get a bit of it comes with a big responsibility of how you portray yourself and how you talk to people and how you come across. And like you said, you like to elaborate on your creativity. So I feel you're very grateful in your life, and I think that's the thing. That's why you're quite blessed.
Thank you.
And you meet a lot of people on the way that want to help you.
I have met so many amazing people. I'm so blessed. I've met the most amazing people ever that have really just helped my business grow and just supported me.
And taking it to different levels. So like there's like you said, there's calendars. I think when you come out of here, you probably take us from the studio that you're gonna go home and paint.
Yeah, probably. I take inspiration from everywhere. Probably on my way to the train station, I'll probably like take snaps of things that I see along the way. Like I take inspiration from so many random places.
So would you say that you would use it? Say like how normal artists, creative artists, they've made their most inspirational paintings from just waking up in the middle of the night and just start doodling. Have you ever done that?
I've never woken up in the middle of the night and started doodling because I can't even see anything when I wake up in the middle of the night. Okay.
But we live in a country that has electricity, Farrah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not with it when I've woken up, so I definitely wouldn't wake up in the middle of the night and start painting.
Don't make me laugh.
But I stay awake till quite late and I work because I feel like I can be the most creative.
No, because like when I'm crying because that is making me laugh. No, like when you wake up, like some artists, I think as they're laying down and then inspiration just falls to them. As a writer, I've had that. I'm not going to lie.
That does happen to me while I'm lying in my bed, but I wouldn't...
You wouldn't get up and do it. You wake up and you wait till the morning. Well, let me just have my coffee.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't get up. But I do stay awake till really late. I like to work when everybody's asleep and when I can't hear any noise outside.
But then you do wake up in the night. She's lying to me.
I don't wake up in the night. I'm already awake. I go to sleep late, yeah.
Okay, how late? Are you an owl?
There are times I've gone to sleep at 5, 6 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you cope with children?
How
do you cope with your...
It just means I'll get like 1 hour of sleep.
And you cope throughout the whole day?
I'm in a bad mood throughout the whole day.
Oh, bless you.
I'm in a bad mood.
This is coming from a woman who's saying action and honesty. Okay, so you just act on it as soon as you wake up, and then So how do you cope with your kids? So obviously you work around when your kids are at school.
Yeah, I mean, my youngest one, he's too young to go to
school.
He's
at nursery now.
But I put him into a nursery twice a week, plus my mum helps me out. I've actually got amazing neighbours as well who help me out.
Oh, that's lovely.
I've got the best neighbours in the whole wide world.
Oh gosh.
So that, again, alhamdulillah, I have a lot of support, and I just manage. I don't know how, but I just manage.
So would you say timetable is very important as well, as the case of timing
being
the work?
organised.
Yeah, organised.
Yeah.
Like the way you keep time of when to do things. So basically, you probably wait till. I remember you saying on the Muslim game that you wait till your son goes to nap.
Yeah.
So you used to wait for him to have a nap, and then you just start working on what needs to be done.
Yeah, and usually when he goes to bed by about 8 o'clock, then I'll just sort of start getting into my work at that, from 8 o'clock till like 3 a.m. I'll usually be working.
Wow.
And not every day though. And yeah.
It's only when you have a big deadline of like.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I have to do like 100 wedding cards or something.
Have you ever missed a deadline? Have you ever been? Really?
I haven't. Yeah.
You've always been on spot on time.
The only time that I've not missed a deadline, but it's if the post goes missing.
Oh.
Which has only happened, obviously, this happened like 3 times in 6 years.
The post goes missing? When you were sending the cards?
Like sometimes a parcel goes missing.
Okay.
It's not my fault, but it's Royal Mail's fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's been times like that, but I've always met my deadlines,
So you've never struggled to meet them?
I've struggled to meet them, but I've made sure that I meet them. Because this is for people's weddings and stuff. I can't mess the orders up.
Yeah, another thing you've started is, I think, is it new now that you've been doing on cookies now?
Yeah, I started recreating my designs onto cookies with icing. It's something that I started doing about 3 years ago, but I only did it once for a charity event. And then recently I went to a workshop. I went to like an icing school for the whole day, and I did an intensive workshop there. And just learned a few techniques, and then I just started practicing on them, and I'm going to do my first workshop at the end of July for that.
So are you a good baker as well, or?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to pretend that I am. I mean the designing element of it, and decorating. Yeah, I can do that, but baking, no.
I don't know if you've seen lots of There are quite a few. There's lots of cookie arts going on actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes the cookie looks just so pretty to eat.
I know.
It looks. You just think, should I put this up on my wall because it looks too good to eat?
Yeah.
Now I just can't wait to see how far you're going to take this with your henna designs.
Oh, thank you.
It's going to look wonderful. Do you even get called for weddings and stuff now?
No, because I don't paint on the body, so
You did one recently. You did one for a photo shoot.
That was for a photo shoot. It was like a collaboration. It was like body art on the neck and on the face, and that was a one-off. That was just a photo shoot, but that's not something I provide as a service.
Okay.
It was just a bit of creative fun.
So you just like to just do personalized products so that people remember.
Yeah, and retain as keepsakes and stuff.
That's great. So other than your, like you said, honesty and action to run a business successfully, what else would you add?
Just don't give up. Don't let anyone put you down. When I started my business, I did have a few people sort of put me down and tell me that it's not going to work. I mean, there was this one particular case where I had an interview with somebody. It was a magazine, and the editor of the magazine was telling me that my idea is just not going to work, and told me that it was a silly idea and that I'm never going to go far, and that I'm going to come back to her in so many years and tell her that she was right, and I'm just basically inexperienced. And I remember walking out of that meeting feeling so hurt. I remember crying on the way to the station.
Wow.
And then when I started working with Armani, this particular person
was there,
and her whole team started phoning and basically asking me to come and feature in their magazine.
Oh.
So yeah.
So how did you overcome that when they said you can't do this? It's just not going to work. And I feel that happens with lots of entrepreneurial ideas. People say to you, forget it, it's not going to work. And I think that's the biggest thing. The naysayers, is that what you call them?
I think it did dishearten me, and I was sort of thinking.
Did it put you off?
It did, yeah, it did put me off. But like, I had good friends and I had good support behind me. But it definitely did put me off, and it did sort of lower my self-esteem and stuff. But I still
carried on.
I still carried on because I enjoyed it, and I thought, you know what, even if it's not successful, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's something that I like doing, and like I said, it's a form of therapy for me. So I'm just going to continue doing it, and then it just
So, so how did it feel when you saw her again?
I didn't see her again.
No, did she? No, when she called you to come to the magazine.
I didn't go. I didn't go to their magazine.
What?
I rejected it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You should have gone there and said, "Told you so."
No, I didn't want to because I felt I didn't respond to their magazine.
But I bet you must have felt good though. That look, they're calling me now.
Yeah, I think I did a little bit, but
don't lie for her. You jumped with joy and said, "I told you so."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I felt. I can't remember, to be honest.
Okay.
But I remember how I felt when she told me that my idea wasn't going to work. That was very hurtful.
I think that's one of the hardest things for entrepreneurs is to hear negative feedback.
Yeah. And I got that from some of my family as well, actually, because I was a graduate in psychology. I think they wanted me to pursue a career in that. And, you know, in our culture, sort of, art isn't really seen as a proper job. You know, you have to be a doctor or a lawyer. And so I think my family also, they didn't really think it was going to work. And I think that was quite disheartening.
You still pioneered through.
I did, but then as they started seeing, you know, the results, then they were, you know, then they
impressed.
Started being more, they were more
supportive.
Yeah.
Like you said now, they're very supportive with your work now, which is wonderful. So you probably have, did you ever get called at family weddings now as well? Like, oh, Farrah can do it. Farrah can do the henna because she's the artist.
Do you know what? Not really. I don't have, no, I haven't, not so far.
They probably think, no, she's too posh for us now.
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, anyway. Well, it's been lovely to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So one thing that I like to normally say is before we end an interview is, what is the one thing that you would tell people that they can start applying to their lives right now? That would make an ultimate change to their mindset or their business or them as a person.
If you have a dream, don't give up on it. It doesn't matter what others around you tell you. Just keep working hard and work towards what you really want to do.
Just believe in your idea.
Believe in your idea, believe in yourself, because that's what I did. And if I let people put me down and if I let it get to me too much, I wouldn't be where I am today. So
wow, that's awesome advice. So as Farrah said, never give up. If you have a dream, just believe in yourself and pioneer through. Thank you for watching the live show with Musart. This is a wrap up for today and have a wonderful weekend.